Hello again and welcome to Political News, Political Views. I'm here with my partner Todd Schleiger. Always, no teleprompters, no cue cards, no idiot boards, just straight ad-lib conversation. And just to clarify, as we always do, Todd and I do this show because we have opinions, as does all of you out there. Problem is, the people who should be listening to those opinions never do. You can't get a hold of them. You can call their offices. They're extremely busy, but they're always on vacation. I kind of wonder about that. I also wonder why, when I look at the right side of my paycheck, that it keeps going up higher and higher. But,
it's going to go up even more.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that. Yeah, well, you can count on that. Some things are absolute. But before we get started, I wanted to...
Catch me off guard?
No. I wanted to inform you of something that you are not aware of. And when I saw this yesterday, it blew me away. And I know this has to come on the show. Now, I got to use my phone because I take pictures of this stuff. It's really bizarre. But I wanted you to see it. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to read it to you because I can't get it on the camera. However, you can look this up, and I think you're going to like it. If I knew how to work this phone, it would be... Okay. Now, Todd and I have both gotten our vaccines. We hope that all of you will get the vaccine. I got it, 2 shots, and I was really unaware of this problem that happens when you get it. If I had known, I might have reconsidered, but it's too late now. I got it, and I'm just waiting for it to happen. This is from a young man and I can't bring it up. This is from an Arizona GOP official made an unverified claim that COVID vaccine, you ready for this? COVID vaccine turns people into potted plants.
I keep hoping for the third appendage.
I didn't know.
There's all kinds of horror stories out there from never vaxxers.
I went to my boss and I told her I won't be in tomorrow. She said, why? I said, well, because I need to be watered. I stopped off at the store and I called my wife, asked her to get me some Miracle Grow.
Yeah. You got all kinds of people out there that, like I said, you got people who don't trust it because most of it was created under the Trump administration, so they don't trust it that way. Matter of fact, you got some of the major Democrats that said that they wouldn't take it because it was created so quickly under the Trump administration, but now they're pushing it really hard.
Well, now I'm going to tell you, I was wary of it. But then when I saw all these people getting it...
That's what I waited for.
Yeah, nothing happened. I was skeptical. I'll not deny that.
That's just like with the Johnson & Johnson. I think they've had 6 women between the age of 18 and 49 that got blood clots.
Yes.
And I think even one passed away or more.
Yeah,
but at the same time, look at any medicine that we take, prescription-wise. They come with severe warnings of, you may get diarrhea, stomach aches from almost anything.
Well,
so now the Johnson & Johnson comes with a label on it.
My favorite.
That says risks outweigh the benefit.
My favorite is I'm not sure of the medication, but I heard that the diarrhea, the throwing up, may cause mental problems or even death. If this happens, call your doctor.
After you're dead.
Yeah, I question that. And then I thought, well, look, just because I got the broken finger, I think I'll just hang on to what I have and sidestep,
That's like with the vaccine. I had the Pfizer.
Uh-huh. As did I.
You didn't get hardly any side effects from
None.
it, and I didn't get really any from the first one, but the second one knocked me on my butt.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't get any.
I average 4 to 6 hours of sleep every night. Well, that day I got that vaccine, I slept 15 hours, so
Yeah.
I got plenty of rest for the next day, but every bone in my body ached.
Well, I'm glad I got it. It was very easy to get. They called you in, bang, sit down. I answered all the questions, including the fact that I was not pregnant at the time, and I was okay with it. So,
I just can't picture you pregnant.
well, I had to answer the question. They
I know.
asked me if I was pregnant, and so far as I know, I don't think so.
I mean, the only reason I actually got the vaccine is because I travel international.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something the airlines are going to require, so that's the only reason I received it.
My stand on this, because we haven't gotten into our questions yet, but my stand on this is how many people have gotten it now? Over 200 million?
I think it's somewhere near there, yeah. At least one shot.
Okay, let's get the vaccination, let's get this thing over with, and get back to normal life. Now, they're saying that they're going to open up more with the masks coming off, and you can get with loved ones and all of that, and that's great. We're slowly going back to normal. You know, the people that are fighting it, there's one priest that said, God does not want you to get, I saw this on the news, I can't tell you which one because I don't want to get sued. But why a preacher would stand up there and say, God does not want you to get the Pfizer or any of the vaccines, he'll take care of you. Well,
you got to remember, there's religious beliefs in everything that we do.
Yeah,
and
but there's people dying out there.
And there's people dying on a daily basis.
What's really sad is one of my coworkers at one of my jobs, his brother wouldn't get the vaccine, caught the COVID, went to the hospital. The hospital turned him away because he had the COVID, and he died a few days later.
I mean, they're saying that 99% of the people survive COVID.
Yeah. But it's tragic when you hear that somebody had to die.
But, you know,
it wasn't necessary. Especially now because the vaccine is there.
The vaccine doesn't save everybody.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it's only, I think they said the Pfizer's 95% after
Okay, well then answer this.
the second shot.
If it doesn't save everyone, how many does it save? More than, I mean, it does have some impact?
Well, any vaccine has some impact. You got to realize right now there's a lot of the people who aren't getting the vaccines are the people who actually had COVID. A lot of them that actually had COVID now are not going in to get vaccinated because they've already got antibodies from having the virus itself. And some are getting it even though they did have COVID.
I just want to get it over with and get back to normal. The masks, okay, I got used to it. I do it. I even feel like I'm missing something when I don't have it
I
on.
only wear it when I have to. I don't wear it hardly at all.
Unfortunately, for the amount of hours you work and the amount of hours I work, it's hard to get away from. So, but you know, now the other one, there was another one that I thought you would like, and I saved these for you because. Okay. Bishop Larry Gators calls death of Joe Biden's wife, daughter, and son a satanic sacrifice.
Was that from the accident?
Yes.
That's just wrong.
That Biden had his wife killed, his wife and daughter, and his two sons survived,
right,
so that he could gain power, and that his son Beau did not die of the what
brain
they said.
tumor or whatever it was.
He died. He was sacrificed so that Biden could. He sacrificed him to Satan so that he could.
Hey, not only there are religious quacks out there too, just like there are doctors who are quacks.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's in every lineup.
The thing is, this stuff is so bizarre. You know what's sad though? There's people that actually believe this.
Yeah.
That's the part that, what they say is something that should be on Saturday Night Live or Monty Python or something like
Monty
that.
Python, I'll give you. Not Saturday Night Live. I can't stomach the show anymore.
To be honest with you, I watched.
It's not funny anymore.
I watched a few clips with the thing, but Saturday night.
It's not like it used to be. Like when
gotta
Eddie
get some
Murphy and them were all on there.
Yeah.
Now we got too many people who are so wanting safe spaces that they can't even handle criticism anymore.
What's safe spaces?
Well, that's that crap that a lot of the universities were pushing for a while back there, where people can go where they don't feel, or no, let me see. Students would come in there and say they feel threatened because they were having speakers of different questionable subjects coming in to speak, and they weren't feeling safe with it. So,
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Universities are a place where our young adults need to learn to confront issues and also learn how to cope with them, get their opinions out there. I mean, our public school system and our public universities are where children learn their social skills.
Yeah.
And how they're going to deal with jerks like me at the place of work. You know what I mean? They need to be able to learn how to cope with that. We can't have people who, just because I yell at a coworker for some particular reason that they might have done something wrong in the job. I'm not saying I go up there and really yell at them, but I confront them and then I maybe I correct the situation with punitive actions or something like that. They need to learn how to cope with that.
No, I agree with you on that.
That's what our public school system is there for, plus the parents. Don't get me wrong, the parents still have a position in this. So...
but we talked about this on that show that was so boring that even we couldn't stand it. But
this one's getting boring too. No, I'm just kidding.
The point of that show was the fact that you can talk.
Yes.
If you know how. But we said in that show, and I still agree with this, that the social skills are not put forth because they're countered, and I think you disagreed with me on this, I could be wrong, with what's on YouTube and Twitter and all of that. Because I have to admit, for the short time I was on Twitter, you can, it can be very therapeutic. You can get your anger out on it, because there you can say something on Twitter that you would never say to the person's face because probably you would meet his fist.
No. Me personally, I say what's on my mind, whether I'm in front or... I'm just saying, what this does, people don't know how to cope with it face-to-face meetings.
I admit I did that.
This is a cowardly way of doing it. You're hidden behind the screen. You could put a photo of anything you want up there as your avatar, and like you said, it's therapeutic because you can say something that you wouldn't dare say to somebody's face.
Right. And now I did have some good discussions back and forth with people.
Right.
Now that I did do, and I actually enjoyed those because points were made. Like you and I do here, we shoot them up, drag them out here, and then we go outside and.
I have always vented my opinion.
Yeah, I do too.
But people come back with some of the weirdest, and where they get their information from on Facebook and on my YouTubes.
Yeah.
They're like, where do you get your information?
What bothers me and what scares me is the fact that people are believing things, Democrats and Republicans, the whole gambit, are believing things that are so outrageous.
Some of the outrageous things are actually truthful.
Such as?
Well, I'm just telling you, I've run across things that sound so outrageous, but they're actually true. But the facts are, a lot of the time, they're believing what they first read instead of taking the time to go do their own research. People want instant satisfaction or gratification, instead of putting the time in to find out the actual truth.
Well, that's why you have Newsmax and Fox, and then you have MSNBC and CNN.
But most people will watch one channel, and
the one that makes
their,
them happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not doing anything for them. That's just giving them talking points.
What's really sad is Walter Cronkite, Huntley Brinkley. We grew up with that.
Well, that was real journalism.
You could take Walter Cronkite to the bank.
Right.
I mean, now.
But the laws were different back then too.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because back then, when Walter Cronkite and all of them were on the TV, if it was a personal opinion, it had a banner come across that this was commentary from personal commentary or something like that. It had something on there. But if it was news, the journalists actually went out and done the work. Yes. Now, they don't really delve into anything deeply. No. They only pick and choose what they want that they think will bring them ratings. Instead of doing the full truth on a story, they pick and choose and say, well, let's use this portion of the story because I think this will generate more ratings for our channel or program.
I'll agree with that, and I'll agree that the majority do it, but some do it more than others. Some of the stuff that's coming out is just so outrageous that...
What I want to know is why Chris Cuomo isn't going against his own brother for the governor of New York. I mean, with all the stories that are coming out about him, why does he back off? Is it because it's his brother?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or is it because it's CNN?
Maybe they don't want him to.
And the owners of CNN, which is a very liberal owner, whatever his name is, I can't remember, he has actually pointed out what he wants.
I thought CNN was owned by Ted Turner.
No. Not anymore, I don't believe.
Time Warner?
Hey, Siri. Who owns CNN? The nice thing about phones.
Siri has to go into the credits now.
Oh. iPhone. I'm not going to dig it up anymore.
All right,
but that's what I'm getting at. You have liberal channels, far left news media, and you have far right news media. So you have to pay attention and look into all of them. You can't just say, well, I can't stand Clinton News Network, CNN, or like they used to call it, or Fox News or something like that. You have to watch both. You have to watch more than just those two channels.
Yes, but if you have an open mind or one that can actually think, you can pick out what is bullshit and what isn't.
From one channel?
From all the channels.
Well, you got to watch more than one.
Yeah.
Because you get the people who
I do.
strictly watch CNN and they believe everything that comes out of that channel.
That's something I don't do.
Right.
I listen to each one, and a lot of it you can disseminate what's crap and what isn't. For example, I guess Tucker Carlson right now is hot. The stuff that's coming out of his mouth is bizarre, but his ratings, he's got 30% of the audience, even though what he's saying has been found to be non-factual. It's like a personal opinion fact.
But also, he has backed up a lot of what he's been saying
Actually,
with facts.
He has not backed up.
He hasn't backed up anything.
I didn't say he hasn't backed up anything. A lot of the stuff that he has said is not.
Okay.
Is not. And he's lost, what's really amazing is he lost his sponsorships on it, and yet he's still out there.
And he'll be out there for a while because he's generating ratings.
Now, what does that say for the ones watching it? They listen to that, they believe it, they go for it.
Again, I'm not saying never watch just one program. But Tucker Carlson is still a valid person to be listening to, but you also have to listen to, God forbid, CNN. But I'm sorry, you know me as well, and I've said it all along. I can't stand that channel, but I still watch it just trying to fit.
Well, I can't stand Fox, but I still watch it.
I don't even watch Fox.
And Newsmax is worse. You know what really...
Newsmax, and I watch Newsmax.
Why do you watch Newsmax?
Because it gives me...
makes you feel good?
No, it don't make me feel good. None of the news makes me feel good because it's all crap. I just get a laugh out of the talking points of all these channels. Like, they'll come out again with Biden's taxes proposals or something like that, and CNN will say, well, it's a good thing that he's pushing taxes up onto the corporate. But then you'll get Newsmax will say, yeah, but this is also going to force is also going to force businesses out of the country.
You're 100% right on that. However, these are not exactly facts. This is going to push people out of the country. Well, right now, it's not pushing them out of the country because a lot of people don't want to go to places like India now. India right now is
well, the
turmoil.
taxes aren't in position yet either. And nobody has gotten a solid answer to what the taxes are.
Well, something we did last week was we changed the format a little bit. We were testing it out to keep from punching each other.
Which we have never done.
No, not yet. So the thing was, what we did was we kind of took the format of the debate that Trump and Biden had. You had so many, here's the topic, you had so many minutes, and we're toying with it right now, so we're still working on it. The purpose is to get more facts out of there. Some of what we say, and I'll speak for myself, if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you I don't know. If I have an opinion, I will give my opinion. And remember, opinions come from point of view and, where you came up, who you are, a lot of factors. Okay, so just because I have an opinion.
They're just personal opinions.
Yeah, just because I have an opinion doesn't make it so.
Right.
Because somebody who lives in the South is going to see things different than we do in the North and the East and the West and this, that, and the other thing. So
just depends on their demographic.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? Your choice. I don't care.
You go first. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay. All right. Let me get the timer on. Okay. Okay. The way this format works is we each get 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes. You don't have to use it all. And then there's rebuttal and questions afterwards. So let's see how this works out. You ready?
Oh, I'm always ready.
Okay. All right. All right. My topic right now is the Republican Party and where they're going. I remember the Republican Party coming up. My first presidential election that I watched was Nixon-Humphrey. I was for Nixon. I was for Reagan. Bush Sr. I liked, and I thought Bush Sr. handled the presidency extremely well, with the exception he made a mistake of he kind of focused more on another part of foreign policy and kind of forgot about the economy. And then the tax thing, of course.
No new taxes?
Yeah.
Read my lips.
Yeah, it would have been better if they did read my lips, yeah. So the thing was, the Republican Party that I knew, the Reagan, Bush, Roosevelt, Lincoln, is not the party that I see now. This party, I will agree that it belongs to Trump. I believe that it's Trump's party, but I believe it is no longer a Democratic party. And Democrat, I don't mean Democrat, I mean democracy party. I believe that it is now an autocracy, because what I'm seeing is that everything revolves around one person, that everyone is afraid of him. And what's really amazing is one of the things that has come out that they say behind his back, and this is funny as hell. All right, what did that asshole do now? But they will not confront him. And those that confront him will receive retribution. And he has told them that. And he has put it forward. Now, Liz Cheney is about as conservative as you can get. Her father was more than that. I mean, I liked him under Bush. I didn't like him as vice president. under.
I have personal dealings with Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I mean, none of them are perfect. But the Republican Party was different. I don't believe that they are living what they believe in now. I think that the people there are, one, from what I hear, the people in the Republican Party want to keep their job. So they have to answer to one person. They can say, I represent my district, but 71% think Biden did a great job. That came out today. 63% think Biden's doing a good job as president. 71% was how he handled the vaccines. That's Democrat and Republican. 63% of the Republicans were for him right now, approval rating. The party that I knew, I don't see anymore. I see a lot of people that cannot tell the difference between right and wrong. They're circling the wagons, and then you have these fringe people, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz didn't come to position until 2016. He hopped on Trump's plane and, or like I want to say, Trump wrecked him. You can figure that one out for yourself.
No, I don't need to.
Yeah. And he's never changed since. Some of the stuff that he's done is just bizarre. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Republicans, there were a lot of respectful Republicans. Now, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz are all fighting. Ted Cruz, when the 17 of them went down there in the boat on the border, they carried AR-15s. Now, the people that they were complaining about were kids from age 6 to 12 who left where they were coming from. What the hell were you going to do to them? But I think that the party is more concerned about autocracy with Trump. Ooh, let me see. I got any time left?
Oh, you can continue.
Oh, no, because I got 30 seconds left. But it's not the party. Tomorrow, Liz Cheney will be ousted, and that's sad. She stuck up for what she thought was right.
If I remember right.
No, wait a minute. I still have 16 seconds. I'm not going to interrupt you. Okay? That's something that we got to do. It's unfortunate. So, I'll give you the 9 seconds. That's yours. Go ahead.
First off.
Wait a minute. Let me.
Well, you don't need to set that. I'll watch that clock right there.
No, I'm going to time you. Okay. Damn. Look at that. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, first off, Liz Cheney, at the time, or even first off, she badmouthed top people in the Republican Party. But what you just described is both parties, not just the Republican Party. The only thing that I actually see different about the Republican Party from time in the past is the conservatism isn't there. Before, the Republican Party was worried about the deficit. That was always a big issue with them. It's never been an issue hardly at all with the Democrat Party. They just want to spend our tax dollars. Every time we get a Democrat in there, the deficit usually goes way up. It's gone up with the last couple of presidents. Even the Republicans nowadays have started spending more money than what they should. And I understand we have the pandemic and everything like that going on right now. But at the same time, do you feel, and I'm going to ask you this question point blank, because this is, you're talking about I'm talking, responding to your.
Yeah, but I can't answer until you're done.
Well, yeah, I'll be done, trust me. One of the questions I want to ask you is, do you feel that taxing our way out of this pandemic is going to work by any means? Explain the benefits to increasing the minimum wage, the pros and cons of it, on your opinion. Okay? And then I've talked to you about this many times before, Biden's tax plan. Hey, make sure you get your notes down there good. Because I want to know on the pros and cons in your opinion. where the pros are to it and the cons are to it, because there's good and bad about every policy that we've had any president put out there. And to the facts, I realize I just strayed from answering one of your questions or replying to one of your comments, but the facts are we need to. I just went way off track. I lost my train of thought on this one altogether. So let's just go with it that way, and you give me your opinion on the benefits of increasing the minimum wage, the pros and cons to it for you.
Okay. You're done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got 2 minutes. Okay. Number one, Clinton left a surplus. Clinton balanced the budget. He left a surplus.
He's the only president to ever balance.
So that's, and then Bush came in and brought it down. There were reasons. It was 9/11, there was the war, there was, okay. So, I mean, those things happened. All right, so taxing our way out. Now, they showed something yesterday that really kind of blew me away, and it kind of showed the top 93 people the richest people, went from $8 trillion to $12 trillion during the year of the pandemic. So they kind of came out pretty good. They use the example of Jeff Bezos, who is building a yacht right now. It's $500 million, but tragedy struck him, and that he can't put a heliport on it. So what he's doing is he's building a second yacht that will be in tow of the main yacht. So that $2 an hour that I got for being a essential worker, see, now if they were to put me at the $15 range, that whole ocean there is going to be filled with yachts. So how is it somebody that has $186 billion says that he can't give his workers a raise, even though he is giving them $16 an hour? He is actually, according to one of the things I heard, that a lot of these people that are not taking the jobs in the restaurants is because the restaurants aren't giving that, but Amazon is, and giving benefits. Now, you're right. Oh man, I'm using up my time. The tax plan. The tax plan is necessary, and they are part of it. And when I get my next 2 minutes, I'm gonna give you my time. Keep going.
Okay,
all right. Here's a reason.
I have to hear this.
Here's a reason for this. The tax plan is to help pay for the infrastructure. Okay, you and I are paying our fair share of taxes. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Our fair share, or maybe a little more than our fair share?
I believe our fair share.
Okay. They are not paying. Now, I'm not saying business taxes. I'm saying personal taxes. Now, if we are rebuilding our country, are they not using it? Are they not using the airports? Are they not using the roads, the bridges? Do they not benefit from that? And I don't,
You're stepping into something pretty deep here.
Okay, now wait a minute. Even with the broadband, they say, we don't need the broadband. Well, communications by today's standards are extremely important. And one of the bonehead things that Trump did was allow Huawei. I don't speak Filipino.
It's Chinese.
Yeah, no, I don't speak that either. But he lost that because he waited too long. And then China, or England, and France, and Spain, and Germany, they all jumped on it after Huawei got it. Huawei, I don't know. After they got it. Broadband, we own those. We were the ones that were running it. China can dip into those wires and find out what's going on. Now, the broadband is something that this country does need. Mm-hmm. When you had the Industrial Revolution, they went through the same thing. Oh no, we can't do this. It'll pollute the air. The grass won't grow, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, we're at that same point now, and we do have to.
Well, let me ask you this question: what is their fair share?
Well, what they said was 2 cents on the dollar after $50 million.
what is their fair? What percentage would you say is their fair share?
Well, according to some of them, not all of them were interviewed, but Warren Buffett, T. Boone Pickens, who is now passed on, and I forget who the other one was. Even Bezos said 28% is okay. 25% would be better. Okay, I'm good with 25 or 28, somewhere in there. I think the Republicans have asked for 25 and the Democrats said 28. Is that where we're at now?
Well, the Republicans don't want to raise it, but they'll settle for a 25. Manchin wants 25. He doesn't want to go with 28.
Do you think that they should pay more in that they are benefiting from that, just as the rest of us are? What's the percentage you're paying?
Do you realize right now you got Biden's administration trying to talk other countries into raising their corporate taxes?
No.
Do you realize that?
No.
The reason they're doing that is if we take our corporate taxes up to 28%, you will see companies leave. They'll go like any good business person. They're going to go where they can make more money.
Okay, now I'm going to throw Trump on you. I thought that America first. I thought
Trump's not our president anymore.
It doesn't matter. I thought it was America first.
Now that's what Trump. That's what he done for the United States. Okay, when he lowered that down to 21 from 35%.
I agreed with that one. Write that down. I agreed with something Trump did.
That's probably one of the only things.
That blew me away.
The 35 is what really kicked a bunch of people out, company-wise. They moved out. Okay, Trump brought the business back to the United States when he lowered it down 14%. Now,
how much did he actually bring back?
Well, nobody actually has a real number for that, to be honest with you. There is a percentage there somewhere, but I think it was he tried to push it that millions of jobs came back. I don't know how true that is. I can't actually answer that accurately.
And neither could I.
So, but the facts are, anytime taxes go up, we lose jobs. Now you're going to compound this, they're talking about raising the minimum wage at the same time that they're going to raise corporate taxes. They're also talking about doubling, going from 20% to 39.6% on capital gains taxes, which only affects, I think it's the top 3%. Okay? So you're going to add taxes on top of taxes to the wealthy business owners and the wealthy people, right?
Up to this point, I've heard they are talking about it. I have not heard that's an absolute.
These are all, well, that's the whole tax plan thing.
Well, the proposal
is a proposal. It's all a proposal.
Yeah, but see, with Biden, it is a proposal, whereas with Republicans, it's an absolute. And that
we already know Biden's going to jack up taxes big time.
Well, apparently, how can he do that if he's got to fight with Manchin and Sinema? And
he's got to fight his own party now because now he's gone overboard. Because now he's proposing a $4 trillion infrastructure bill, $2 trillion for infrastructure and $1.8 trillion
for families.
Well, you can say families all you want. It's only 8% of it's towards families.
Okay.
And they're calling everything that has to do with human beings, the human infrastructure, has nothing to do with it. If you want, I mean, there is so much pork in both of these bills, or these proposals, it's not even funny.
Can you give me an example of pork? And don't give me ribs.
Well, like the other one was when they had the stimulus, they added the bridge going from New York to Canada. Has nothing to do with the stimulus package. These are also based inside there. Okay, they have, and I don't have it, and I'm not going to pull it up because I don't know where it's at on here, but I have numbers I can pull up. No, Siri doesn't answer that because I have her turned off. That's why she didn't answer. But
I could take that somewhere, but I'd rather not.
But the whole thing is, if they really want to help the people out in the United States. You know, you can raise minimum wage to a certain extent, but it won't, if you mandate it from the federal government, it isn't going to help. You have to let capitalism take its place. It's capitalism that built this country. We are not a democracy. We are a republic.
But we aren't an autocracy either.
No, we're not an
but
autocracy.
But we're about to be.
No, we will never be.
Don't you bet on it.
Oh, I'm betting on it.
Okay,
at least not in my lifetime.
That's another topic.
But either way,
this way, I need to.
This is your hatred for Trump, and I don't deal with it. For the simple fact, I want to stay with this tax plan because, like I said, you got him placing taxes on top of taxes for the wealthy.
But I want to ask.
And right now, you have not answered the question that I asked you. What do you feel is their fair share?
I said between 25 and 28%.
Oh, that's just on the corporate tax.
Yeah.
Well, you've got people.
That's all I'm talking about.
Last week, not last week, 2 weeks ago, I actually gave you the number that the wealthiest people in the corporations pay out of all our taxes in the United States.
Is it a fair amount?
Is it? I think so.
So, what are you and I paying? 14%?
No, we pay roughly 23.8% with all our taxes combined between federal and state.
And they're paying 14.
They're paying, some are paying less and others are paying more.
Most are paying less, though.
But they're doing it legally. In order to make these people that you are so frustrated with about paying their taxes, the only way that you can supposedly make it fair across the board is to eliminate the loopholes.
Well, not only that, but you and I have talked about a flat tax. Just a flat tax. You make $1, 10 cents goes here, 5 cents goes here, 2 cents goes here, whatever the case may be. But everybody pays on the dollar exactly the same.
Well, see, but they have a tier tax system. Mm-hmm. If you make this much money, you pay this much tax. And the people who are making over $10 million, they're all up around 39.6%. Their tax bracket doesn't mean they're paying that, because the IRS and our federal government has made ways for themselves to pay less.
Did you also notice that, and this came out in a study, that the IRS does not go after major corporations and those that make $10 million a year because it's too hard for them to win? Because it takes too much effort to go after them, because they have lawyers and they have corporate lawyers that can fight them and they can drag out, and they really don't have the time for that.
Whose fault is that?
But guess who they do go after?
You and I.
Yes, because we're easy. First of all, we couldn't afford a lawyer anyway, and even if we did, you couldn't afford them only so long, and you're still going to end up paying. So the IRS has kind of shied away from going after them. So they got away with it. They got away with it for years on the loopholes.
But why are so many people angry with them for getting away with something that they've done legally?
Okay, so they've got it done legally, but is it right?
Is it wrong? I'm asking you this. The reason I gave you a question, a further question.
In this case, we are talking about the infrastructure.
Okay.
Okay, now with the infrastructure, they benefit from that. It makes our country stronger.
Why are you saying they? We all do.
No, because we're paying for it. You and I
So are they.
Okay. How much are they paying? 14%?
More than you.
Well, per capita, when you say
even if you look at it.
Well, Jeff Bezos wipes his ass with a $100 bill. I don't.
Well, you would if you could.
Either way.
Either way.
I mean,
I'm going to use Michigan for this perfect example. Okay. We created, most of the gas tax created in this country, it was meant for what?
The roads.
The safe operation of our roads and bridges.
Correct.
And canals and all the other little things.
Transportation tax.
No, that's different.
No.
The transportation tax is a separate tax from the gas tax.
The transportation tax and all the taxes, I was told by a senator who really didn't give a damn about his
Your senator is
people.
full of shit.
Well, no, it's not my senator, but
look it up.
Said it was
there
called...
is a separate there is a separate transportation tax compared to the gas tax.
The gas tax was put underneath that and used in the transportation is what I was told.
Well, that's a possibility, but here's the thing.
All right.
Michigan, you ask any of our state reps, senators.
How the hell can you do that?
Well, if they would answer. You can ask them, they'll tell you, if you ask them how much is our gas tax, they'll tell you 23.6.
That's bullshit.
It's a lie. You know that because I've dealt with this issue.
Well,
all right?
Yeah.
It's actually closer to 61 cents per gallon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're paying more than double what they keep telling us. Okay, and then they'll break it down and say, well, this goes to schools, this goes here. It's not supposed to be that way. The gas tax was created early 70s for one thing and one thing only, for the upkeep of our roads and bridges. Mm-hmm. Okay, our state government, and this goes for the federal government as well, the state government found out that this is a lucrative slush fund. So that's why they decided, well, let's cut taxes here on our public schools. We can just add the sales tax in from our gas sales. That'll make up for it. So that'll give us a little extra money here to spend on Part A over here somewhere. Okay? The problem is if they actually utilize what they collect, what it was designed for, we wouldn't have issues with our infrastructure. Now that we're getting into electrified vehicles, now it has to change again. And this is going to really hit everybody hard who turns around and buys electric vehicles, full electric vehicles. Not only are they going to pay more in electricity to charge those vehicles, they're also going to get hit with probably $1,000 or $1,500 plate cost.
That's possible.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I'm not going to say it's right. I'm just going to say, yeah. I mean,
they're going to start being taxed that way, or they're going to be forced to put a little computer thing in their car that reads the mileage that they do, and then they're going to pay a certain percentage for mileage. It's the only way they can do it. Oregon done this a while back for the Toyota Prius, I think it was. But these are the issues that we need to deal with. If they're going to collect our taxes, if they put the taxes that it was actually designed for to do what it was, or I should say, the tax dollars that were designed for what they were, that can get confusing. Then we wouldn't need to keep raising our taxes.
When they did the study on bridges, this was back under Obama, not under Trump, they said our bridges were so bad that it would take $3.5 trillion to bring them up to code.
But that should fall back onto the states, not the federal government.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, okay, with the infrastructure, Republicans wanted infrastructure just as much as it depends on who's in power and who wants to talk. Trump kept with his, this is infrastructure week. Well, it may have been infrastructure week, but all he did was watch cartoons.
If I remember right, he talked about a $2 trillion infrastructure.
I don't remember him talking about anything.
Yeah, he talked about a $2,000
was
infrastructure.
I never heard him go into detail about it.
No, he never did.
But, okay, now Biden's doing this. Now, that you do understand that will create jobs, because a lot of jobs were lost.
Right now, Biden's not doing too good with creating jobs.
Okay. In this past one, no, he didn't.
Oh, wait.
This past month.
Yeah, you're talking about the job creation in the month. Okay.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah, no, that was pretty bad. They expected 1 million, and I don't think
here's what's going to happen. Before the end of this year, we'll be up to $4 a gallon on gas.
Oh hell, I saw.
Not even having anything to do with that line that was hacked.
I saw the lines today. 12 deep.
We're already $3 almost. Yeah, we're already $3 a gallon in Michigan.
Myers $2.93. So they're
Monroe's $3.01.
Now, this is off subject, but I got to ask it anyway. We had nothing to do with that particular area. That all goes down the East Coast and down into Texas, through Louisiana and into Texas. Now they're taking advantage of. Yeah.
What this is a projection on revenue lost because of it.
Correct.
And they're jumping ahead of it,
now,
which is price gouging.
Now, do you think that's legal?
Who's going to tell them differently?
Okay, now wait a minute. You didn't answer my question.
I didn't say it's not. No, it's
is
not.
It legal?
It's not right.
Oh, So then, when I said that something about taxes was not, just because it was legal, it was not right, now, you know, the shoe's on the
It has
other.
nothing to do with the taxes. You,
fact is-
with you and your taxes, what you're talking about is you don't
The
feel they're
loopholes.
paying the right amount. And I told you, these loopholes are put in there for people to take advantage of.
Well, maybe
You and I
else-
can take advantage of loopholes. I mean, do you take advantage of the heating tax? You don't take advantage of the heating tax or whatever it is that they have on our taxes now. We're what is it called?
No, for the first time in years, I overpay my taxes because I don't want to talk to the IRS. They're very nice people. I don't want to talk to them. But I owe a huge amount this year, and I overpay. So Trump's, oh, you're going to get more in your check. No, not only did I not get more in my check, I paid more in taxes. I now have tripled what I'm paying in taxes. So maybe he was good to you.
Yeah, I got a tax break.
I didn't.
Yeah, I paid $1,500 less in taxes.
You paid.
I paid less. Well, they took $1,500 less out of my check.
Well, there's a lot of people out there who used to get refunds, you know, claim married single status, no dependents, and then kick in an extra amount of money, which
Right.
I did. And it didn't matter. It just.
Well, those who get refunds are overpaying their taxes.
Well, yeah, that's what I was doing.
I mean,
But Trump
it's not a
didn't want
savings
that.
account.
He wanted, well, in a way it is because.
I actually believe what your taxes should be when they say that you need to pay this, this, and this. Whatever you pay, that's it. You
Yeah,
pay it, and that's it. You don't get no refund, no nothing.
That would be great.
That
but then
it'd be simplified.
how much would that eliminate in government? IRS and
No, you'd
auditors
still use the IRS for enforcement.
Yeah.
But you'd have people who would whine and complain that they're no longer getting their refund.
Well, as
you
we-
overpaid to begin with.
As
it's
we
not
said.
a
Well,
it's
I
not
did
a savings
overpay,
account.
and I didn't get a refund.
Right. Well, there's a couple years that I could have gotten a refund. I don't get it. I don't want it. I pay my taxes, and I don't argue with them.
Now, when you said the $15 an hour, there was something that was brought up, and didn't think about it, and I should have, considering the profession I'm in. Waitresses and waiters in Michigan, you know, they get paid $2.65 an hour.
$362.
$3.62 or $2.65?
$362. Some are lower. It depends on the restaurant. They
Okay, yeah.
they have a sliding scale
Right.
that they can use.
Right. On the cruise ship that I used to work on, they were paid $12 an hour.
Canada pays them whatever the minimum wage is.
Yeah. Well, so a lot of these people, and it came out that if you turn down a job, you lose your benefits. Well, it always was like that anyway. So now they're going to go back to enforcing that. That was Republican, and now it's also Democrat, which it's not a bad thing.
Here's the thing. The reason they're doing it is because some people are making more money on
Correct.
unemployment than they would be at their
Okay, now
normal job.
let me ask you this. Just in fairness, and I'm speaking of the restaurant business, you can speak for your own profession because it's completely different from ours. The service industry never did pay great wages. You had to love what you did because it is an art
Right.
to create food. It's also a good profession because up to this point, you always had a job. You were never without a job.
Well, you
But
need to
the
you
pandemic
need to
changed that.
clarify which portion of that
Okay, now for the
that you're
for
talking
the
about,
wait
because
staff,
some of the wait staff make a heck of a lot more through their tips than they
not
do.
when the hours are cut, when the amount of people that are in there. So now, in fairness, if you were a waitress and let's say you're down here to the mall at one of those restaurants on Baldwin, and you're waitress in there, but you're doing 1/4 of the customers that you used to do. You're getting $2 an hour. Tips can't be that good with that few amount of people.
Right.
You're getting the unemployment. You have bills to pay. So you go to the job. Now, if they would supplement it and say, okay, if you made this much, we're going to give you this much to supplement. I think that would be fair. Would you?
They do that. You are allowed. You are allowed to make so much money that you have to report your earnings so
Right.
that they can adjust the unemployment to it.
Right. Now that's now I heard they weren't doing that, but they were going to do that. And then I heard that now, if I think this came out yesterday or today from Biden, if you turn down a job, you lose your benefits
That's fair.
altogether. And I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
because I think that the way things are going, I think things are starting to come back.
We have a labor shortage now going on because nobody wants to go back to work because
Yeah,
they
but remember,
won't make more on unemployment than they can at their normal job.
Unemployment is not forever,
No, it's
and
not.
and there is an end to it.
So yeah, but they keep extending it.
Well, I don't think they're going to extend it more,
Well, it's
because
already been
especially if the
over a year now.
infrastructure goes through, that will create a lot of jobs, not just in broadband.
I don't think I'm gonna challenge you on this. That's not going to create 25% of the jobs that maybe 25% of the jobs that he's talking about. It isn't going to create millions of jobs.
I think it will. And
No.
I'll tell you why, because it's not just roads, it's not just bridges,
You're right.
it's not just construction, it's broadband, it's colleges. It's similar to
Which is not
What-
part of the
what
infrastructure.
Roosevelt did right after the
Don't
Depression.
say the New Deal. What was it?
the new
FDA. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the New Deal.
the New Deal.
That didn't. I mean, that panned out, but not like he thought it would either.
Well, no plan pans out like you think it would. Hell, I
Well,
can sit here
you've
and
got the
save the world if
University
you
of
look. I
Pennsylvania.
got a pen and a
You
piece
got
of
Milton.
paper.
Is it Milton at the University of Pennsylvania? They're already saying Biden's plan is not going to benefit the way that he thinks it is. It is going to cost jobs. It's not going to create as many that he wants or says it will,
in
but
what
it
way?
will because of I haven't delved into it. I just heard this. Okay, this is from the University of Pennsylvania. You can look that up. They've done statistics on his plan already, and it's not good for the country.
Well, now they are the standard that we go by. Is that what you're saying?
No, it is the University of Pennsylvania is one of the liberal universities.
Well, I'm not disputing what they say, but that doesn't make it so.
There's other statistics coming out now about it. I keep telling you that the
Now,
way
is
that
it-
he's got this based with the higher raising the taxes on our corporations and on the wealthy is going to hurt our country.
Well, then it was fair that under Trump that the middle class and us we pay. We got no tax cut.
I
So
did, and I'm part of the middle class with you.
We didn't get a tax cut. We got a tax shift.
No, I got a tax cut. My taxes went down. My tax
Did your
obligation.
wages go down?
No.
Your wages went up and you paid less in taxes.
My wages have gone up over the last 4 years.
And you paid less in taxes.
Yes.
But anyway, okay, we we made it through. Okay, and we only got on one topic. So
We went through a couple of topics. He
Yeah.
just doesn't.
Send us letters or anything that.
There's questions you want to ask us.
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
feel free.
If we don't have the answer, we'll tell you we don't have the answer. But
But we'll
we'd
have
like
fun
to hear
trying
your
to give it to
opinion
you.
too. This stuff we do because it makes a difference. Whatever these jackasses do, you got to live with it and you got to pay for it. We've said this. I've said this for years. And does it make a difference? Yes, it does, because you will pay for it,
One
and
way
you
or
will live
another.
with it. So I guess we'll see you next week.
I'll be here. I might even wear some bells on my pant legs.
Oh, okay. All right. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a nice week, and please get vaccinated. It's
If you choose to.
it's no big deal. It was okay for me.